Jim, you've been doing research on the fairness of the Arkansas tax system for 30 years. And I got to ask you, what do you think about the direction that the legislature is taking with its tax bills during this session?
What the legislature is doing this year, I really think it's wrong-headed. They are not paying attention to the fact that we have right now a tax system that places a much greater burden on the incomes of middle and low income people than upper income people. If you look at this chart that has been produced by the Institute for Taxation and Economic Policy in Washington, you'll see that over here, this is the middle and income group, or brackets we call them. And here, they're paying effectively about 12% of their income on all taxes, income tax, sales tax, property tax. About 12% of that, of their income being paid for those taxes. And yet here at the other end of the spectrum, these are the upper income groups. When you go all the way to the top 1%, you see that they are paying only 6% of their income in taxes. Now, of course, they have much greater incomes, but still, if you're thinking in terms of fairness, the lower and middle income paying 12%, the upper income paying 6%, it's just not balanced. So when we went back and looked at where were we 20 years ago, what we found is we're getting worse. This was about 10% for the lower and middle income brackets. This was about 6 to 8% for these brackets. So we're going in the wrong direction. And I think that's unfair on its face, but I also think it's wrong-headed because the legislature seems to think that more money in the hands of the upper income is a guaranteed vehicle for more investment and therefore more jobs. But there's no guarantee that additional income in the hands of the upper income group will lead to additional Arkansas jobs. A much better way of doing that is to put more money in the hands of middle and income workers who will spend on their families and groceries and gasoline and all the other things throughout our local economies. And that's where you guarantee economic growth and more jobs for Arkansans.